Hey everybody, today on the first 10 minutes we'll take a relaxing stroll through the jungle with Dr. Mundo. So here I am on Dr. Mundo. I decided to actually record this one differently to see how I liked it. So that we're actually looking at my actual UI that I during play. I'm actually vocally recording it afterwards, but this is me playing the game. But anyway, I'm playing Jungle, Dr. Mundo. I actually do enjoy Dr. Mundo a lot. But I could feel during this game that I was not as solid on him as I was on Italy, especially when it came to fights. There were some times in the later game when I actually forgot to use my ultimate, which is pretty much what Dr. Mundo is all about. So I was a little bit clumsy with the fights, and I'm pretty new to jungling. But I was last pick, so hey, there you have it. I'm jungle. But anyway, so I actually tell everyone, hey, I don't need any help on the buffs, because I actually don't need any help on the buffs. But Timo, either because he's incredibly super polite, or he didn't see it, was determined to help me on the blue buff. So my goal while I was playing this game was I was like, you know what, I'm going to out-farm Hecarim, because from my own data points in the past, one of the places I struggle as a jungler is that I actually don't get enough jungle camps. I end up, which is, you can be successful as a jungler without that, but I didn't feel that it was because I was making a strategic choice. I felt it was just because I was bad at jungling. So this game I was like, I'm definitely going to out-farm Hecarim. But anyway, so I'm waiting. Timo is coming over to help me, and he's like, I'm going to help you, boss. It's going to be awesome. Come, Mundo, I help. And then I actually am so new at jungling that I don't actually walk back to the camp in time. So the camp actually spawns before I get there. You're going to watch me do a little bit of a headbutt into the forest wall here. I didn't even know you could pick a navigation point in the middle of a forest wall. So anyway, so I'm sitting here, and Timo's like, even though I told him I didn't need his help, he's like, I'm going to help you. And he ends up with the blue buff because he had poison ticking, and he felt so bad. I'm just like, just go for it, it's cool. But he's like, oh my god, I'm so sorry. This poor little level 1 Timo, almost dead. He's supposed to go back to lane to fight Master Yi. He's basically dead with a blue buff and having an emotional meltdown. And I'm just like, don't worry about it, man, it's cool. And so he goes back. Now, the reason why I didn't want to help on the blue buff was because I really wanted... it would have been beneficial for him if he was just pushing the lane against Master Yi. You know, Master Yi is going to be a level up on him. He's going to have more money, all sorts of stuff. And anyway, so I actually started blue. Even though Mundo doesn't necessarily do well necessarily with blue, I started blue because I wanted to gank bottom. I just kind of wanted to help the bottom lane get rolling in case they needed it. And so anyway, here I am. Look at that, soloing the blue buff, soloing the red buff. But I don't notice, in fact I wasn't even looking, there we go, I don't notice I'm actually level 2. Normally you're level 3 after that camp, and so I thought I was level 3. But I was level 2 because Timo split experience with me on the blue buff because he was standing so close to it. So, whoopsie daisy. But anyway, they actually have a ward in that bush, and they did not respond to me. They got so tunnel vision, and I'm going to slow it down as we watch this fight. So they start running. I head for the bush to give vision on Jinx. Here we go. There she is. However, I know I can't slow her until she has that shield off. But that shield just went so long. It actually, my cleaver cleaned the shield, but she didn't take the slow. I should have been chugging a health potion because the flame around me actually does damage to myself. I leveled up mid-fight. But we got a kill. We got first blood. And so we all give high fives and kind of split off. Now, one of the things during that fight is I had the red buff, and I'm such a new jungler that I did not actually think that one of my priorities should have been to apply the red buff. And the red buff is applied with an auto attack. When we chased Jinx into the second brush, I did auto attack her, and she got slowed and had the burn from the red buff. But Morgana's shield only absorbs player spells, and so I actually should have just punched Jinx once to get it to slow. So anyway, I'm just checking in on the different lanes, making sure they're all okay. Timo just seems to be doing really well, even though he started out poorly. And that's It's not a terrible surprise because Teemo is great against auto attack based champions like Master Yi. Strangely enough, Teemo actually had a really, really rough game. I mean, I guess maybe not strange to be because he was probably a newer player. But he he just died to Master Yi. Like, he's misjudged Master Yi's. Oh, he got ganked too. You know, now you see Teemo, now you don't. He misjudged Master Yi's damage output, but he actually had some really good strategic plays later in the game. He took down the first inhibitor tower while we were all fighting, which helped open up the game. It was actually a really long game, really fun game. With it went to over an hour, and even though we start just rolling them in this early game, they actually catch up. And it's kind of funny because Oriana, who was a good player, was a big drama queen, or drama king maybe, because he's probably a guy. So this is kind of funny. I put down a ward to see the enemy jungler, and then I moved my camera, and I actually don't see him. He's actually right behind me. And so he's actually flanking us, and we don't even notice it. And it's like, oh, well, I guess we're going to back off. And we're like, oh, whoa, hey, enemy jungler. But it turned out to be fine. So Oriana really had Akali's number this whole game. In fact, it's pretty funny because Oriana was berating the rest of the team for not buying pink wards, because if you drop a pink ward, you can see Akali when she turns invisible in her little cloak. And Oriana was just, you know, partway through the game, Oriana was like, I'm done, no more. And the team was like, no, don't leave, Oriana, don't leave, we need you, we can still win. And I was just like, I just ignored it. Because I was just like, she obviously wasn't going to leave because we could still win, you know. But noob jungler mistake here. I'm like, hey, should I gank? No, I guess not. You know, because she's under a tower. Anyway, come down here. This is actually, I let her know I'm coming, let Leona know I'm coming. They had just killed the support. Go slow motion. You get to hear Mundo in slow motion. That was just an incredible Leona skill shot. Basically, Leona made that kill. Absolutely all Leona. Slow motion. Very nice. Anyway, so that was also a really, really good game. No math for this 10 minutes. A lot of these jungler ganks are really just kind of, from the jungle point of view, they're just kind of like tipping the scales. The ganks I do were both, in a way, they were both kind of clean up, like the enemy was already damaged. Even if we only got flashes, like, is really, really good. And now we enter kind of an interesting, the second blue buff, interesting, quirky thing that happens is that I'm heading over to our blue buff because our blue buff has respawned. And I tell Oriana, hey, blue, Oriana, come. And Oriana doesn't come. And you'll see here in a moment that Oriana, I ping the blue buff, say, hey, let's kill it. And I'm checking Oriana, making sure she's alive. You know, and she seemed to be fine. I'm about to ask her again. I started a blue buff because she's nearby. And she says no. And it's kind of a strange thing. But I've done it before on Nidalee as well. There's some times on Nidalee where I have refused the blue buff. And it's a very... The power of the blue buff on the mid lane is really, the blue buff adds a lot of power to the mid lane. Even characters that don't use mana, but especially characters that use mana. It's like the mana regeneration and the cooldown reduction from the blue buff is so potent. And I check on Teemo, and I see Teemo is actually working Master Yi hard, so I decided to come up there. But the thing is, when I had refused it as Nidalee in the past games, often there was a part of me that was almost like machismo, like, I don't need your blue buff. You know, like, Oriana's got good mana, good regeneration, she's got double Doran's rings, so she's like, I don't need it. Keep it. But you just get it all on top of your double Doran's rings, right? In the same way when I was Nidalee and I refused the blue buff, it was just silly, which is, I actually should have just, you know, if you are the mid laner and the jungler offers the blue buff, take the blue buff, right? I mean, the only reason you shouldn't take it is if for some reason the jungler has to take it out of an emergency because it's about to be stolen. So anyway, that's almost the end of this 10 minutes. A little bit different without math, a little bit different looking at this UI, but you can kind of see also how I move the camera around. I inspect the different lanes as the jungler. And there's actually this great little bit here in the end where I get to feel like a jungler versus jungler action. The blue buff was up, so then of course the red buff is up. So I'm going down to pick up the red buff. And Hecarim's mid right now. You can see him, but he's wandering bottom, and he enters our jungle. So he's hanging out. He's actually really, really close to me. He's on the other side of that wall. And so anyway, I move in here. So I'm, the common thing you do is you fight the blue buff inside there, or fight the buff inside there. And Hecarim's there, and I smite as if it was a smite war, which it wasn't. But for some reason, I was exceptionally proud of that moment, and I was like kind of just all puffed up as like, I'm a jungler, right? And then we look around for Hecarim, but we can't find him. Hecarim is fast. He is like one of the fastest champions in the game. So he's gone. But anyway, so that's this 10 minutes. If you like it, please like. If you really like it, please subscribe. And I will see you all on the Rift.